It's Greg at Stafford Mobile Tyres. I just need a lane 1 closure to rejoin, please. Marker 66405 Alpha. So, no, that's not good though. That's really not good. Because all that means if there's an arrow, yeah, just to say though, if there's ever an arrow, people don't adhere to that because they just think, oh, there's going to be a lane closed further up. It's totally wrong, that is. Well, I am. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying people normally put a red X on, and that's a lot safer for us. Okay, and what was your name? Cheers, Vicky. Thanks. Bye. Right, well, news to me, they no longer shut a lane electronically when we leave here. So all they're going to have is an arrow. Now, just because there's an arrow on does not mean that everybody is going to be looking up and paying attention to it. Still a vehicle in lane 1. Still in lane 1. Highways are trying to make me pull out. You gotta be kidding me. Mike Tango 59 Victor Golf Juliet. Still in lane 1. I've never had that. I've got your keys in here, yeah, I've got them in my pocket. Yeah, it's pretty damn dangerous, I'm not going to lie.
Do you know where we're going?
Yeah, crew, if you just grab onto that handle when you jump up. Yeah, that's it. Smash him. Oh, I can't believe that. Not one bit. Still a vehicle in lane 1. Still in lane 1. Highways are trying to make me pull out. You gotta be kidding me. Mike Tango 59 Victor Golf Juliet. Still in lane 1. I'm now calling up National Highways.
Welcome to National Highway. If you are broken down, want to report broken.
Hiya, I'm a roadside worker and I'm just trying to make a general inquiry if you might be able to assist, please.
Yeah, go on, what you got for me?
All it is, I've just done a job on the motorway, on the M6 between junction 14 and 15 north, in a recovery truck. And normally we used to have a lane closed when we rejoin the carriageway to make it safer. But obviously I've just been notified by a lady that they no longer are allowed to do that. They're only allowed to put in a lane divert.
You've been misinformed.
But I'll be honest, it's twice that's happened on the past 2 days on a motorway. That apparently they're only allowed to put a lane divert in.
No, my friend, you've been misinformed. The processes of us here at National Highways is the recovery driver attends on scene and for safety reasons, if they feel it's needed for a lane closure, we won't just close the lane, we'll send the traffic officers to the location, potentially do the fend off.
Yeah, I'm on about more. Yeah,
close the lane.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just in the principle of my last job. I didn't need highways to attend it under any safety ground, but it's more for when we leave. So once we're loaded up, we're strapped up, and you know we're ready to leave a bay. They used to shut the lane electronically, just for like 30 seconds. That's all.
That's exactly what we still do. The case is just ringing us and telling us to do it, and then we'll close the lane down. You can pull out.
Right. Well, I've literally just done a job, and I spoke to a lady called Vicky on the phone. And she says that highways have not done that for the past 6 months, that they're only allowed to put in a divert.
All due respect, buddy, she doesn't work for National Highways.
Really?
Well, I don't. Well,
it was on the ERA phone. It was on the emergency phone that I rang up on.
Okay, well, I'm saying to you is we need to give you that response, not her.
Right.
If she's telling you that things we do and don't do, it's not for her to have that conversation with you, is it?
Yeah, well, I actually asked her.
You phone us up and ask that question, we will do it for you.
Well, I asked, literally, when I rang up on the emergency phone, I do recovery and mobile tyre fitting, And I literally says, I'm just calling to get a temporary lane 1 closure put in place so we can rejoin the carriageway, please. And she only said ARROW. She said they're not allowed to shut the lane anymore. I says, for how long? She said it's been like that for nearly 6 months. And it's like, what?
The regional control rooms did it?
Whoever sets the signals, whoever I was on the SOS phone, and whoever I get through to on there, it's literally on the orange phone in the lay-by.
When you say lady, you're not referring to the driver of the broken down vehicle.
No. I'm on about highways. Yeah, the lady at highways or whoever. Yeah.
My apologies, sir. I thought you was on about the driver of the vehicle.
No. Of course, sorry.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you use the SOS. In all honesty, that shouldn't have really been said.
Yeah, well, I did think it made my brain wonder, and I was like, what? Like, how's this right? Because literally, as I was about to leave, a Volkswagen Golf was still in lane 1, and I videoed it on my little camera just to show, look, I've been told by highways that they don't do lane closures. Bearing in mind, I had another person behind me who had to leave as well.
Yeah, you've been misinformed, my friend, and this shouldn't have told. My advice, moving forward, whenever you want to pull out into a lane, always call them up. You call now. Speak to the customer contact centre. We would then raise it over to the regional control rooms. They would put the red X's up.
Yeah.
Or if they've got a traffic officer nearby, they'll just do the fed off for you to move out.
Yeah, Jesus.
All right. So just don't use the SOS. Like, just call us directly here. We'll raise it for you.
Yeah, I just found it just so like. I got no words. I've done the job for 13 years, and I thought, is this a new thing? Because I thought, I know we all call it smart. There's there's 1,000 opinions on it, blah blah blah. But it's like, if that's your lifeline on that phone, because that's why I ring it. I don't ring up off my mobile phone. I do it off the SOS, number to try and get through straight away. And then it's like, how on earth?
So that gets through to the regional control rooms. That does.
Right.
But as I say, us here, we would directly log it and get it closed down for you.
But do you not think it might be worth trying to look into it at highways then, to make sure people are aware of the procedures if somebody's asking?
You already know the procedures, buddy. I can't comment on the person you spoke to, but...
Yeah, Vicky, the name was Vicky. I did ask her for a name and she said Vicky. It's definitely worth it. It needs to be raised of some nature, because I actually had a very similar incident yesterday on the motorway with a man, and he says that they're only allowed to put the arrows on now again. So there's clearly something that's all of a sudden changed within highways very recent, and it's not just me. I'm a person who doesn't mind talking to somebody on a level because I understand it, but for a normal member of the public or something, like, my God, it could be a disaster waiting to happen if somebody pulls out and it's only an arrow.
We wouldn't just move traffic over to the second lane, because it's not gonna. That's still not gonna.
No, but only when you leave the lay-by. When you're leaving a lay-by.
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is, we wouldn't divert traffic that's coming up to your vehicle for you to move out in lane 2. I don't close the lane down completely.
Yeah, but I'd only want to move into lane 1. I wouldn't want to go into lane 2 as well. I just want to move from a refuge area back into lane 1 safely, because we can't build up our speed unlike on a hard shoulder. So we have to just kind of go straight away, don't you? But all I was kind of saying, that the lady wasn't willing to do a red X, so it gives me no room to play with.
Yeah, I mean, the reasons for red X is for incidences, aren't they? So it wouldn't be a red X, it would be speed. So we'd put that lane 1 potentially down to a 40-mile-an-hour speed. So the traffic isn't as flowing consistently as it would at 17 national.
Right, okay. So, yeah, because I just thought you said the lady's misinformed me, so I thought you normally would set a red X when you're wanting to leave a bay to make sure it's safer.
The red X is, no, my friend, the red X is to aware of any emergencies up ahead of you.
Right.
You pulling out into a lane isn't an emergency.
Oh, no, I know it's not an emergency. I get that.
Just want the differences with you. So what would happen is we'd set the speeds to 40 on that lane. The rest of them would carry on at national, and that will give you enough time then to pull out. Once you pull out, you then revert back to 70 miles an hour.
So who would be at fault if I was just pulling out of that lay-by because highways won't shut a lane off electronically anymore, and then a car hits me? Who's at fault? Would it be me pulling out into lane 1 because I can't build up my speed quick enough, or is it the vehicle behind knowing it's only arrows to try and ask you to politely move over when they're not obligated? Or would it be highways due to them not wanting to shut the lane electronically for safety reasons?
Yeah, that's a legality question, which, in all due respect, is above my power, and I can't answer that.
Is there anybody else at highways that I might be able to speak to, being at,
if you feel it's something that you deem wanting more information on.
Oh, for sure.
I can raise a case over to the specific area to in question. And
yeah, well, I need to, because this is literally only happened the past 48 hours for me. Normally, I'll get a lane closed straight away so I can rejoin safely. But now they're only putting an arrow on. It's like, whoa, this is a red flag. This is a major red flag. It's dangerous.
Okay. Well, I'll raise the case for you. Let's get the question asked for you. All right.
Please.
Just stand by. What's your name, please?
My name is Greg. Greg.
If you want me to be honest with you, I think it was more of an educational learning process for that corner.
Right.
That door handler. Because going off my knowledge as well as what you just told me there and what's advertised visually on our website.
Yeah.
All due respect, I think that's what we should be going up, because we're advertising on our website. And I've never done anything different here.
No, for sure. That's why I'm just ringing. It's just struck me straight in my heart, mate. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's why I'm ringing up. You know, I've pulled over and I'm just. Why
our main area here.
Yeah.
Safe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. And literally, I was about to leave that lay-by, mate. There was a freaking car in lane 1, and it's like, whoa! I nearly went into it, and I left the bay.
What was the name of the person you spoke to?
Vicky. Not Vicky Pollard. Although it was a little bit, but no, but...
Anyway, oh my God, I do can't believe you just said that. Sure, everything.
But yeah, I'm only asking politely that if that person is wrong, highways need to do something pretty damn urgently with all staff members who deal with the ERA phones or taking the calls, because somebody will get killed leaving those bays if they're not putting red X's on.
I agree. I'm just going to send down the case number 2.
Yeah, and just make sure the highlight is pretty damn important, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. I do appreciate you understanding the scenario in the end.
It's fine with it.
So, you've just heard it. I'm glad Mark now kind of understands the scenario, but whoever was on that ERA phone, that is not good. I'm not here to get anybody sacked, putting it out there. I'm not here to get anybody in trouble, but in regards of safety aspects, what's just happened to me, that is not good at all. There should have been a lane closure for me to rejoin that motorway. As you saw, I was about to pull out. There was a car in lane 1. I've grabbed my camera here where you are and put it out the window. That is so bad on every count. And if that's how some of these newbies are at highways or whatever, misinforming people or putting on the wrong signals, somebody's going to get killed. And we're talking about working on a smart motorway. So, yeah, that ain't good. I've got nothing more to add. You've literally heard it. There's a freedom of information request going in. Should hear a response in the next 10 days, and I'll probably update the video if I've not published this already. But yeah, that is so bad to not shut a lane off when you're leaving a bay. I'm alright, I've done it before. I can build up my speed if it's night time or there's not enough traffic. It can be done. But if we're talking safe and smart, that lane should be electronically red X to give me a good time to pull out and build up my speed in lane 1. It's as simple as that. I say no more. Do let me know your thoughts below. If you like what you see on the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, because I am the person that talks on behalf of everybody else, because my videos do get watched. People are aware of what goes on in my day-to-day life in vehicle recovery and mobile tyre fitting, working on smart motorways, working on traditional motorways with a hard shoulder. So you kind of see it here, and I am a people's person. And again, I've been pulled over here for 20 minutes on a Saturday night. It's 7 o'clock. I want to be eating a Chinese or an Indian and having some food, but I'm not. This was massively important, and it's important why I did this on behalf of everybody else. So it's time to get to the bottom of it. Hopefully it's an error at highways, and they can obviously redo some training with some of the staff members on those ERA phones, because you are literally dealing with somebody's life on that little orange phone at the side of a motorway. Yeah, it's Greg here, Stafford Mobile Tyres. I just need a temporary lane 1 closure so we can rejoin the carriageway, please. 6306 Alpha. Yeah, M6 junction 14 to 15 north. And if you can ideally do the lane in front of us as well, because it's quite a short distance. Yeah. Yeah. 2 vehicles that will be leaving the bay, a white one and a red van. Yep. It's alright if you do the job right for me. Oh, yeah, I've had some bad experiences the past week, to be fair, with highways. Yeah, some of them have refused to shut the lane. Another day they said there was a computer glitch that they couldn't put a lane 1 on, but all they could do was an ARROW divert. No, we need a lane 1. Why can you only do a divert? See, just say that one again, sorry, Right. I won't want to divert though, that's not good enough. I need a temporary lane 1 closure so we can rejoin safely. Yeah, they've always, literally, it's only the past week where highways are no longer doing lane 1 closures to rejoin, to leave a bay. They're only saying lane diverts. Yeah, if you don't mind, pass me on to the manager for a quick 60 seconds would do me. Please, thank you. A new process, a divert to leave an ERA bay. No. That ain't right. That ain't right one bit. No. That's wrong. That's safety. Safety is compromised when you leave these bays. You've only got a lane divert on and not a red X. What are you going to do watching the camera if I'm pulling out into lane 1 and a lorry hits me? What are you going to do? I know, but it can happen. I've got literally. I'm not going to be here long. I need to leave. Me and this customer. But 4 days ago on the M6, just another junction up, a lady said it's a new process, and now obviously I believe it. So highways have now changed their safety policy that they will not shut a lane. I was about to pull out into lane 1 and a Volkswagen Polo was coming through on lane 1 and there was only a divert set. So if I hit that or that customer hit me, who's to blame? It's National Highways. It's wrong. You need to put me onto that manager, or you can send a traffic officer out and shut this lane up properly, because I'm not having that. I'm speaking on behalf of all the members of the public and everyone in this industry. You have to shut a lane 1 to rejoin these bays safely. It really ain't safe. This is so wrong. So wrong. No traffic officers available at this time. All on incidents. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to cut a massive long story short right here, right now. This is a massive safety flaw for National Highways. This is... So, it's alright when you're in a control room, yeah, got you on camera, I can see you. We're on a brow of a bend, on a hill. A lane divert is not good enough to get members of the public to move out of that lane. They have no right to move out of that lane because they're not going to get penalised for it. When people see a red X, people are a lot more, upbeat with the education now that they cannot be in that lane because they'll get flashed or get a fine. But leaving an ERA bay with, not much room to build up your speed, and if one vehicle goes from lane 2 to lane 1, this is National Highways that are going to be paying for all the damages, or potentially somebody that's died when they're trying to rejoin safely. If you go on your own website, it says you can do a temporary lane closure before you can rejoin, or they'll send a traffic officer out. And we're only at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're all on jobs. I don't really believe it. I'm being brutally honest. Yeah, but please, this is so dangerous. You're expecting all members of the public and roadside operators to leave a bay just on a lane divert because National Highways are now not allowing to put a red X on. It's so dangerous. I'm going to leave this bay, I'm going to tell my customer that there's only a lane divert, not a closure, but, if anything happens, this is on National Highways back, and I'm going to take a drive down to National Highways today because this isn't right for members of the public and roadside operators. Not one bit. It's wrong. Yeah, you can set a divert, that's great, but people ain't always going to move out. It's not even a complaint. It's not even a complaint to make. It's safety. I don't know how on earth the powers at highways can say we're never going to shut the lane 1 anymore so you can leave a bay safely. It takes 30 seconds, if not 60 seconds at most, and it's done. Open up the lane and there's no backlog of traffic anyway. No. Highways need to change their website. They need to change their website and say we are not allowing lane closures anymore. We're just going to put a little arrow on and you can hope for the best when you leave the bay. That's what highways now need to do on their website. This is a major safety issue. I actually can't believe you're even saying this to me on the phone. I can't even believe it myself. No, it's okay. But you've got to understand that this is wrong by National Highways. They talk about safety and smart. This process you just told me, that ain't smart and it certainly ain't safe. I will be taking this further, just so you know. I am the boss, that's the problem. I am the boss of my company, yeah. And this ain't alright, trust me. I ain't just no little operative on the side of the motorway. I've done this job for a long time, and I know how process used to be when you leave these bays until very recently, over the past week. But I'm telling you, a divert is not safe. This will be going further, and I am going to have to take this to, to the news. This is wrong, majorly wrong, and this is going to make National Highways look so silly. Honestly, it's so wrong, so wrong. So when you speak to your boss when he's out of that team meeting or whatever he's talking about, just tell him that this is going to go a lot further than just our conversation today. And that, so the ones behind our set. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, this ain't alright and it's safe. It ain't your fault if your bosses are training you to be this way, then that's that. But whoa, don't go, not yet. No. Yeah, he's been desperate to go for ages. Yeah, I know. I'm going to stand in the yellow bay and watch him out. It's changing now, right. Slow vehicle joining ahead. That's as good as we're going to get into it on this phone call. Right, make sure you tell them, but I ain't happy. And if they want to ring me, Stafford Mobile Tyres, but this ain't alright. Cheers, bye. That's rough. Right. Say again. Yeah, well, no, they've not shut it. They're not shutting lanes anymore. So all they're doing is a little arrow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to your side, and when I think it's good, go as fast as you can, yeah? Just wait for this last one. Okay. You must be mad. You must be mad. You must be mad. Go and have a little polite word.
Hello?
Hi, I'm just wondering if there's any traffic officers in the building at all.
Yes there is.
Super. Would you be able to just grab one for me if possible, please?
Yep, just bear with me 1 second.
Thank you. Is that what COLAS is when I press it on the buzzer?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Ah, right. What does it stand for?
It's just the company we work for.
Oh, right.
2 seconds.
Thank you. Stand on this side to be safer. Are we on? We're on. Traffic officer, are you on duty now? Yeah. About to be, right. All it is, new policy, leaving these ERA bays, I've now been told they're not going to shut a lane 1. And the other day, I had a lot of issues. Obviously, this is recorded. I'll point it down so it's not to get you in it or anything. But I've just been on the phone to Highways. I've just done another job in ERA, and they're saying that their new policy is that they will not shut a lane off for you to rejoin safely. Honestly, I've just videoed it on a job, and I did it the other day on a job. The other day they said there was a technical glitch, so they couldn't do it. I thought, you know what? Okay, hands up. If you can't do it today, you can't do it. Yeah. If you've got somebody else in there who might be up for a bit of a discussion about safety, it'd be great. Because it ain't good, like, you know, and Highways website states they will do a temporary lane 1 closure, or they'll send a traffic officer up so you can rejoin safely. Yeah, just whilst you got them, the lane divert.
Yeah. Yes. No problems. Understand. Yeah, no problems. Thanks for your time. Cheers, all the best.
A lane divert, they're going to say.
Lane divert initially for it.
Yeah.
They're watching on the camera the whole time. If there's no compliance or poor compliance, they'll set a red X for you, no problems. If there's perfectly good compliance, we can go out. So it's different to not.
It's a little bit naughty though.
To not setting any.
Yeah. Oh no, I appreciate, but literally, I was on the job the other day. I've put it on my YouTube channel, like, and the amount of vehicles that are still in lane 1. So there was no talk to me about, you know, are people complying? But it only takes one car to just move back in as you're pulling out, and it's game over.
Unfortunately, it only takes one car when there's a red X and there's a...
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, I appreciate that. It's never going to be perfectly safe, but as you know, a red X works a lot stronger and better than just a little arrow, because an arrow's not going to penalise anyone, they're not going to get points, they won't get a fine, they won't get flashed, whatever. You know, so I understand what you're saying there. Yeah, an arrow, yeah, thanks for putting something on, but it's only going to take that one, maybe an elderly customer, a customer who's not sure on how to rejoin safely, and they're pulling out, and there's still somebody in lane 1 because the lane's open. Yeah, although there's an arrow, but the lane is open.
Shouldn't be pulling out unless it is safe, and if it's not safe, they're going to put a red X on.
I know, but I've got a video as well. When I was leaving a bay the other day, they had a lane divert, and I was about to pull out, and I stopped. I grabbed my camera off the middle, Volkswagen Polo in lane 1. So if I pulled out and I hit that, is it me at fault? Is it the Polo at fault because they've not adhered to an arrow asking politely, can you move over? But the lane is technically still open because there's not a red X on. So I don't know if your Highways person then might have just said there is a small change in policy that they're no longer going to electronically shut a lane, but they're just going to put a little divert on. But that ain't right for the long term. It's in a safe. And obviously even on Highways website it says they can do a temporary lane 1 closure, you know, overhead, or they'll send a traffic officer out. And my point is that I've just been on these few jobs the past couple of days, and they're no longer shutting lanes off to rejoin safely. It's wrong. So I don't know if my next stop might be to go Birmingham maybe and have a word with somebody there. But it ain't good. It ain't good. So I'm just trying to speak on behalf of the other motorists, but it ain't right. You know it's not right, because normally you would shut a lane off electronically. It takes 30 or 60 seconds, and it's a lot safer.
Set for me to leave one.
You have or haven't?
Rarely. Then the situation's different, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're in a fast car that can just go straight out, but yeah. Oh, well, I just thought I'd ask, but... And have they said the policy's just changed, have they?
Yes, recently.
Yeah. So, right, that answers one question. So, yeah, they have changed it, and they have just told me on the phone they've changed it.
Oh, but, well, I don't think they're telling the truth about that.
Yeah, they've told me the truth that policy's now changed, yeah. But they need to update the website then, because the website still states that Highways will close a lane electronically to rejoin a bay.
Well, we will
to rejoin. Yeah, well, they should do it now. If it's been enforced now, the website's telling me otherwise, you know what I mean? So.
No problem.
Okay, mate. No problem. So you've heard it there. National Highways have a new policy in place, but we can't see the new policy because we don't know where it is. But somebody up there at Highways, they've got it, but I can't see it as a member of the public. So when you leave a bay, you will not get a red X anymore. You will only get a lane divert. But what they've now told me from his boss or his superior, whoever, if there's a lot of vehicles that are not complying with obviously the overhead matrix saying arrow, 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 then they may get approval to then put a red X on. But they're not telling me that. That's the first I've heard of it. I've done loads of jobs in this space since these videos. Nobody's told me that. So I'm now hoping in my head they're going to be watching me on camera
thinking, oh, I hope he leaves the bay safe, I hope he leaves the bay safe. Oh no, there's another vehicle in lane 1. I'm going to put a red X on now. They've not told me that, so do I need to then get back out my vehicle and say, I need you to put a red X on, or are they going to do it automatically, or are they not going to do it at all? This new legislation needs to change, because it's all right for some of us people in the industry about leaving a bay, look in your mirror, but you think if that's a family member that's never really been on a motorway, they've never really broken down, they've never been on a smart motorway, they've not been educated how to leave. And if they are educated, they looked on National Highways website, they'll shut a lane electronically, or they'll send a traffic officer out. Well, that's changed, and I need to see this new policy. So where's it at? But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you drop me a little like and a subscribe on the channel. That would be much appreciated. And I think we might need to take a little trip to National Highways in Birmingham. What do you reckon? Should we have a little protest outside saying no red X? It's meant to be a smart motorway, and they're now just not giving us anything smart at all. It's dangerous, and unfortunately, as horrible as it sounds, somebody will either be in a car crash leaving a bay due to no red X, or there's going to be a fatality, and I don't want it to be either one of those when we've got the technology above. If somebody has a red X on and they're still in that lane, we know who's at fault. It's the driver driving in a closed lane. That's fine, but if it's only a little lane divert, you can still legally drive in that lane. And I'm not telling you to do it. If you do see an arrow, please do move out the way. But a little arrow, as people know previously, because of this smart way's been around for some years, they will stay in that lane until there's an X. Because that's just how things have been, unfortunately. Yeah, it ain't good, and it ain't right, and it ain't okay. But hey, that's a video. It's a wrap. It's going to get uploaded. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want to come for a little protest at National Highways, do let me know. And I wonder if they're going to update the website now they've seen this video. Who knows, but at the minute, it's still the same.